Hello everyone, Matt Hoots here with SawHorse, and I was using a 4-inch grinder yesterday and it wasn't quite cutting through this metal the way I wanted to. So we got a 7-inch rigid angle grinder, and we're going to try this out and cut these metal posts down. I already did one test cut and I was pretty impressed with what it's done so far. Let's take a look. Alright, that didn't take very long at all. And what I like about this angle grinder is the fact that we can adjust this guard, and definitely safety first. You always want to make sure that you've got the guard in place. You've got this latch where you can move it, where you can cut it at different angles. You can also take this handle off, which is a useful feature. To have it where it comes off the top, or you can put it on the right or left hand side of this, depending on how you're going to use this. For this particular case, I'm trying to keep my hand as far away from the blade as possible, so we're going to put it back on the top and also adjust the guard where the blade is sticking directly out. This is a nice quick connect. You've got this quick connect release. When you push that, you can adjust this back and forth. So far I've been pretty impressed with this tool. Again, I was using this today. Yesterday I was using a nice 4-inch angle grinder, but it didn't quite have the torque that I needed to be able to do this project. All right, I finished a full day's work with this tool, this RIDGID 7-inch angle grinder, and for the most part I was pretty impressed with the design. Now I do have one complaint about the materials. I'm actually going to contact customer support about this. While the guard for the most part is metal on the outside, this whole section right here is plastic, and about 2/3 of the way through the project, you've got this little piece right here. It's cracked, which means I can't adjust it, and the guard was just flopping all over the place, which makes it very dangerous to use. I mean, this either needs to be all metal or nothing. I mean, you really should not have any plastic in the mechanical components, maybe the casing, but not the mechanical components like this, especially if it's for safety reasons. So I'm going to take this back to the store and see what they can do, or if I can find a different model, and I'll let you guys know what I find out about, is there a better tool out there for this, or does RIDGID have a replacement or solution for this? All right, we just did a review and tried out the RIDGID angle grinder, 7-inch angle grinder, and I'll give you my honest feedback at the end of this video. And I've also got the Makita GA7021. These are basically the 2 angle grinders that you can buy from the stores at Home Depot. I've also got a 4-inch angle grinder, and I'll pull that out a little bit later. I've had that one for about 10 years now, so I definitely am going to give that one a good review. And it's a DeWalt 4-inch, but Makita and RIDGID were the only 2 that I can find at Home Depot. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what's in this box, and then talk about some of the features and benefits of this one compared to the RIDGID. All right, out of the box, we've got the guard, and I do want to point out that this is all metal, and I'll tell you why this is very important to me here in a second. And it's adjustable. It's a quick release adjustable guard, where most of the 4-inch models or 4.5-inch models, you've got a screw that you have to undo to be able to move it back and forth. So if you're quickly going from one side to another, this quick release is very handy and very useful. And I do like the one on the RIDGID, or I like the design of the one on the RIDGID as well. And really, my decision on which one I'm going to keep, honestly, is going to come down to the guard. So let's talk about some of the other things that come out of the package. A nice handle. Both the Makita and the RIDGID do have 3 points to screw this handle into, so that is very handy on both sides. Where the one I had from like 10 years ago, it only had 1 or 2 spots for me to screw the handle into. Looks like you've got a 7.25-inch blade out of the box, and this is designed for metal cutting. I did use the one that came out of the box for the RIDGID, and it did pretty well. It actually did better than the diamond blade that I bought that quickly wore out, and I was pretty much cutting metal on metal after no time. All right, so let's look at the tool itself. So some of the features that I talked about earlier. So you've got 3 different ports where you can screw the handle into. So I mean, most often you're going to have it on the left or the right side, but if you're ever doing a polishing or grinding and trying to get it into the surface, screwing it into the top and pushing it down is a very useful feature. And on older models, you didn't really see this. Other features that I saw on the box that I did like, the fact that you can switch between AC and DC power sources. So this does have a feature for that. Let's take a look and see how we can take this off real quick and look how easy it is to stick the blade on. It looks like this is pretty much the same as the RIDGID. Had a tool, basically 2 prongs in this where we can quickly get the locking mechanism off. So let's find the button that locks the blade into place. And okay, comes off pretty easily, which is nice. So we'll stick this blade on. But before we stick the blade on, I'm going to stick the guard on. Like I said, my choice between the RIDGID and the Makita is going to come down to how I like this guard. I did like the design for the RIDGID, but you know, to be honest with everybody, I did end up returning the RIDGID because the guard, I mean, I liked all the features of the RIDGID except for the guard. What happened is after about an hour and a half worth of use, this guard broke on me and it nearly cut my fingers off. So hopefully it was just something that happened for me and it was not going to happen for you guys. But the reason I like this guard versus the one on the RIDGID, now the RIDGID one was pretty cool. You just had a button that you pushed and you can slide it around. However, that button was connected. It was a cast, looked like a die cast button. So it was a very soft metal and it was connected to a piece of plastic that connected to the metal guard. The problem with that, like, I mean, we're dealing with sparks, we're dealing with lots of force that you're putting on it. So if this catches and hits a rock or bangs into something, it could break pretty easily. And in my case, I wasn't even banging into anything. It just broke off. All right, so looks like I just need to tighten that up a little bit more. So I'll get my pliers and tighten that up. So it looks like this is a nice quick release to be able to move it around. Again, the design's not as sexy as the one on the RIDGID, but it's all metal, it's simple, I like that. And for my safety, I think I'm going to opt with the all metal guard. Let's put this bad boy together and see how it works. One other thing I do want to point out, when I first used the other one, I had my safety glasses, I had all the safety apparatus except for I forgot my earplugs. So I did go back and buy some noise canceling earplugs because the high frequencies were pretty intolerable when I was cutting through the metal. So safety first, make sure you're wearing your earplugs, make sure you have something to protect your face. And also made sure I was wearing a long sleeve shirt because some of the sparks, even though you do have this guide, some of the sparks and debris can come back and hit you. So as far as the weight, you know, this is a nice weight. I do like the 7. The fact that it does go up to a 7 1/4 inch where the other one's a 7 inch, but I think that just happens to be the size of the blade. One thing I didn't like about the RIDGID that I do seem to like about the Makita, and again, I'm just learning about the Makita as I just opened this to try it out, is the fact that the safety on the RIDGID was only on one side. You could switch things around, you could twist the handle around, but you could only, like with this one, it looks like it's designed for lefties and righties, where I felt like the RIDGID was designed only if you're right-handed or left-handed because of where the safety was located. So I do like the fact that this is for ambidextrous use. So you just click this in place, push the button down, and it'll turn on. I'm not going to turn it on in the shop, but I am going to try it out tomorrow in the field. And if I happen to not like this, I'll take this video down and give you a review of a third tool. But unfortunately, these are the only 2 ones that you can find at Home Depot. Hey, thanks again for watching this video. And this video is not sponsored. I just decided to do a comparison video
based on my experience today in using two different tools, and I was really hopeful that the RIDGID was going to work well for me. Unfortunately, it didn't. It did have a lot of the features. I did like the design. Like if the materials were a little bit better, I felt like the design of the RIDGID would work really well. But I do have to say that the reason I like the Makita over the RIDGID, the guard and also just the safety button, ease of use, I think that's going to make it a lot easier to use than the RIDGID. The RIDGID did have a twist option right here where I could twist this the handle to different angles to be able to get into different places easier. But I don't really feel like that feature is necessary. I was using it in the field today and I was twisting back and forth quite a bit. And it was kind of inconvenient as well. So overall, I do like the Makita better, and I do recommend that you get this one. I've got links to Home Depot if you want to buy this online, and also Amazon in the description below. If you like this video and you want to see more like this, give us a thumbs up. I've created a playlist of other videos similar to this off to the right, and don't forget hit the subscribe button. We'll see you next time. Talk to you later.